Hey, good morning, guys. It is June 22nd, and talking about judging others. Well, talk about not judging others. How difficult that is. Matthew 7 is that do not judge, or you too will be judged. For in the same way you judge others, you will be judged, and with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. And it's such a difficult thing to do. Chambers has a lot to say about it. In all honesty, as I read Chambers, I just didn't like it. Not that I didn't like it because it's a hard lesson. I don't know. He's applying it to God's judgment of us, or maybe it's just natural consequences. The whole this If you've been shrewd in finding out the defects in others, remember that will be exactly the measure given to you. Like that God's going to repay us the judgment we give others. Or maybe he's just saying that naturally what will happen if we're not careful, if we don't act in humility, the natural consequences here on earth are that you will be judged by others the same way you judge, and that could be it. The one thing that stands out to me in this whole study and in the verse itself is that we have a tendency to judge. The fact that Jesus would have to say it means that it's something that we have this proclivity towards. And the thing that I find myself here, I'll say it this way: can you imagine if, when you were delivering judgment or criticism or pointing a finger, if at the moment that you pointed a finger at somebody and said, "Oh," that all of a sudden your heart, your intent, and your actions, your past actions, were opened up for everyone to see what kind of foundation you were standing on to point and judge other people. And I think all of us, if truth be told, if all of us were subject to an immediate transparency of our thoughts, intentions, and actions every time we pointed a finger and judged someone else, I think we would be a lot more quiet. And I think that is the humility that when Chambers says here down in the second paragraph, the reason we see hypocrisy and fraud and unreality in others is because they are all in our own hearts and maybe in our own past even. The great characteristic of a saint is humility. And humility comes with that kind of notion of, what if my thoughts and intents and actions were laid bare every time I wanted to judge? And so I think that's what Matthew 7 is saying. Be careful, because either, I don't know if it's naturally or naturally the world has a way, or it's just kind of this natural consequence, like I said before, of judgment, that it comes back on us. The kind of the bottom line is this statement that Chambers makes: I have no right to judge. I cannot be a judge. I'm not in a position to judge. And this is the question that Chambers asks here at the end, that I think is more than a little bit challenging. But who of us would dare to stand before God and say, "My God, judge me as I have judged my fellow men"? And I think, okay, well then that's a really good reminder as I think to myself, or as I'm tempted to judge others, to say, well, what if God judged me the same? And then he wraps it up with this, and I think this is kind of the key to it all: is God judges us through the marvelous atonement of Jesus Christ. So God judges us through the acts, through the righteousness of Jesus. And then my comment or my note to myself is, we should do the same with others. We should judge others with the atonement, with the marvelous atonement of Jesus Christ. So even if someone is not redeemed and has not humbled themselves at the foot of the cross, I think sometimes we need to really withhold judgment and realize that the atoning work hasn't happened yet. And those, especially those in the body of Christ, we need to realize that it's still taking, it's still working out its results. The atonement is working out its results in the lives of every saint. So, anyway, not a fun one actually. So, you guys do with it what you will. Have a great day.